channel. I'm Rupali Shah, a blockchain developer and your instructor at Newton School. So, today's agenda is to create a Hello World Solidity program, a Web3 website where we will be using ethers, we will be using Web3 models, we will be using the React for the user interface, and we will be integrating all of them with the help of Metamask and the Ether library. So let's get started. It's a very big project on the channel. Like till now, whatever things we have done were in chunks, and now we are trying to integrate all the three stuffs that we have learned till now. So yeah, it's a high time, and I thought that it would be the perfect date for the particular video. So let's get started and let's see that how a Web3 application works, how you build a Web3 applications from scratch basically. So yeah, it's the most basic Web3 application, but it will be covering all the three aspects that we have talked about, that are the building blocks of any Web3 application. So let's get started. But before moving to our today's agenda, let me introduce you with Newton School, and it's an Edtech company that helps you to become a full stack developer. Now you might be thinking that there are so many courses in the market. Then what is extraordinary of this particular platform? So let me tell you that we provide you courses for free in the beginning. Once you get the course, you complete the course, then only you need to pay for your courses. And we also guarantee you a placement from 5 lakhs to 40 lakhs. And if you want to check out the course detail, if you are someone who is very inspired to become a full stack developer, then you should check out the course link in the description, the first string link, and from there you will be getting all the details of our website also, and of the course that you want to pursue. So yeah, it would be a great opportunity, and I insist you to just have a look on the link in the description. So now let's get started with our today's agenda. Let's complete our let's build a complete DApp application, a Hello World program. So let's first open our IDE, and in Remix IDE first we will be creating a Solidity contract, and then we will be moving to the front end part, and at the end we will be creating integrating our contract with our front end. So yeah, I'm super excited. Let's get started. So I am in my Remix ID. We have one file which is dap.sol file, and let me just show you where it exists. So it exists in the Hello World folder. So let's get started. The first thing of any smart contract is to define the license for the contract and to define the compiler version. So we will be having these two things. Now let's get started. So contract, and this is a DApp contract, so let's give this a name DApp, and we will be having one string over here which will be a public string, so that we can access it from outside the contract, because we want our front end to access this particular variable. And let's give this the name, and let's say the value of this particular name is hello world. Now this whole contract, I really don't want to create a much bigger contract. We just want to extract the value of this particular name in our front end, so that you get an idea that how to integrate the two things. And once you know that how these three things could be integrated together, you would be able to create your own bigger applications than this. So for the start, we will be creating big applications too, but for the start, let's keep it so simple. Let's just compile the particular contract, and now let's just deploy it on the main net, not the main net, on the basically on a test net of Polygon. We are using Polygon test net, and it's the Mumbai test net. So let's bring some matic over the Polygon chain. So I have selected my Polygon Mumbai chain, and I am gonna bring some matic on this particular address. So I just copy this account address and pasted it over the this website, which is faucet.polygon.technology. And yeah, it will help me to get some amount of matic on my particular chain. So I guess it would be taking few minutes to showcase. Till then we could go to the, okay, back up your, okay, that's just an error, nothing much big. So yeah, we got the matic, it's 0.5 matic we got. And now we will be using this particular matic to deploy our contract on Mumbai testnet. So we will be deploying right now with the help of Remix ID, but for the future videos, we are planning to teach you the truffle and hard hat, whichever will be more convenient. We will be looking into that, and then we will be using those things to deploy. Yeah, that is a tricky thing to use for deployment. That's why for the beginners, I have kept it with the help of Metamask only. So let's select injected web3, and it will allow asks me for the allowance. Let's allow this. Let's connect our website with Metamask, and yeah, we got our address and the ethos we have. It is showing ethos, but it is actually matic, so you could get the difference, right? Now select the dApp contract which we want to deploy, and just click on the deploy thing, and it will open MetaMask for me. It will ask me for the transaction confirmation that okay, you want to deploy the contract. Do you want to spend this much matic for deployment? And let's say just okay, confirm the transaction. And once the transaction would be confirmed, you could see your particular contract on Polygon chain. So let's just go to the explore thing, and yeah, this was the transaction hash of our contract that we just deploy, and this is the contract address that we created with the help of this account. This is the address of our MetaMask wallet. So I guess we are good to go. We have this particular contract, and when we select name, it is showing me or returning me the value hello world. Now what we will be doing, this is something which we have already constructed till now. Like we already know how to integrate MetaMask. So if you have missed this video, I would suggest you to watch this particular video, because it will be having much more things, and you will be getting that okay, how this whole particular thing happened. So yeah, now the next thing that we would be likely to do is to grab the address from the MetaMask wallet and display it over here. I told you in that video also that we will be doing it very soon, so let's do that. So to basically have that particular functionality, I have imported few of the React components. We could say that we will be using use state and use effect in this. And let's say that let's create a constant variable, and let's say that it has two things. One is address, and the second one is set address. Address, and let's say that we are using the state, so it's the use state, and the initial value is blank. So let's keep it blank. Now what we will be doing is we will be calling here set address, and over here we will be passing a the value which is storing our address. And yeah, that's it. Now in this particular div, your main return div, basically the app div, here you will be creating one h1. But before creating the h1, I would like to check whether address really exists or doesn't exist. So we will be saying that if address is null, then I don't want to display anything. But if the address is not null, oh, okay, sorry, this would be coming first, and then we will be having this. And if the address is not null, then we want h2 which will be saying that okay, your address is like, if you are connected to Metamask wallet, then of course you will be having an address, and this address we will be grabbing over here. So, if you are coming from React background, then I surely know that you actually know what is use state and use effect. And I'm not gonna go into the React part very deep, but I am gonna show you that which part we are of the React we are using for the Web3 applications. Right, so let's just save it and let's see that we are good to go or not. Okay, so let's try to connect with our MetaMarks, and here we go. We got our address, our MetaMarks address over here. So this was one thing that I want to show you guys in this particular video. And now the second thing is to deal with our smart contract. We just have on our Solidity blockchain, like Polygon blockchain. So the most important thing to access any smart contract is the ABI of the smart contract and the address of the smart contract. So we will be grabbing the address from here. This is our smart contract address, and in our React file, in our Visual Studio Code, we will be setting up that particular address. So let's say that we will be making the state of everything. So yeah, that will be much cool thing. Or yeah, let's create the state only, or instead of state, let's do one thing. Let's create a function, and let's say that this particular function would be named as what should we do? Okay, let's say that need to give a state set function, and this particular function would be basically having two things. One will be the contract address, contract contract address, and over here let's just paste the address of the contract that we copied from our remix id. And the second thing is the ABI of the contract ABI. So contract ABI, and let's just paste the contract ABI. So you could get the contract ABI from this artifact folder. You will be having one file which is dap.json, and over here in this file, let's just find ABI. Okay, we are not gonna get this like let's just find the ABI in this whole bunch. I guess it's in the end of the file. So let's just move to the end of the file, and let's just check out that if we could get the ABI. Yeah, so this is our ABI. Just copy this particular ABI from the square brackets to the brackets and just paste it over here. So we have now two things. One is the contract address, and the second part is the ABI. Now what we are gonna do is we are gonna go to the Ethers main library, the thing which we are using basically, and let's say library, and let's go to the documentation of the library. And over here we will be having one thing which is contract. So let's move to the contract part, and here you could see that if you want to create a contract using a address and the ABI, then you need three things. One is the address of your smart contract, the second is the ABI of the smart contract, and the third thing is the provider or the signer part. So let's just copy this particular line, and let's say that let's move to the our VS code, and over here after the ABI has been declared in the function set, we will be having the contract. So let's say let's give this a name of contract, and with the help of ethos dot contract, we will be using the contract address. So this was the contract address, and we have the ABI. So this was the contract ABI, and contract. Okay, I got a spelling error, so it's capital C. You could just copy this from here and you could just paste it over here, no issues. And the third thing is provider. So we know that our provider is situated over here, so what we are gonna do is we are gonna create a state and we will be saying this, that okay, you are the pro, and let's just set the pro thing. And we are gonna again use state stuff, and let's just keep it a blank string right now. And once we are on this particular phase, like when the provider has been extracted using the ether library, we could just set the pro state, and over here let's just pass the value of provider. And then on this particular set function we could just use the pro keyword, because yeah, the value has been set up. So over here you could also have an if condition, that if pro is exist, like if pro is not equal to a blank string, then only we will be setting this particular thing. Else we could have like an alert, and we could say that connect to Metamask, right? So these things basically help the user of your application feel better. These are the user experience. So connect to Metamask. And if you are a great React developer, then you can use the toast, and you can also use so many other things which would be more convenient and more attractive to be looking at. So let's just save it and let's just check the our React app right now. We are trying to connect to the MetaMarks, and yeah, it's good to go. Let's just console our contract and let's see that what is present in our contract. Contract, okay, console, sorry, console.log, and let's just console the contract. Yeah, and this set function needs to be called where should we call this? So let's call this set function once our Metamask wallet is connected. So once your wallet get connected, instead yeah, in the end we could just call this particular function. So let's just refresh the page. Let's try to connect to the MetaMask wallet. First, it will took the sign. Okay, so we got an error over here, and this error came because of pro part, right? We told that if pro is not equal to, okay, it was not equal to, right? I guess our logic was right. Still, let's see that. Let's just remove this if else condition and let's see what happens then. Let's try to. Okay, so we had an error over here that the signer or provider was not invalid, like the invalid signer and provider we got. So what we can do, I guess I have passed the wrong thing over here. Instead of provider, we need to pass the signer over here. So let's just set the signer value instead of provider. And let's just try it once again. And yeah, we got our contract ready, and here you could see the address of the contract, you could see the functions we have, and we can call actually. So you must be thinking that we were not having any function, still we got a function variable, like the name of the function. So since we have this name string, let me open the dap.sol. Yeah. So since this name variable was public, declared public, so to access this particular name variable, we could treat it as a function. And once we will be calling the name, like suppose in your web3, like in your interface, we could say interface. So in your interface, if you write contract, the contract which we just created using the ABI and the that address, contract address, we could just simply say name, and this will be returning us the value hello world. Hello world. So let's just try that now, that it actually happens like this or not. So what we would be doing is we will be first console log the particular thing. So let's say that value would be equal to our contract which we just created using the address and ABI, and we will be saying that we want to access the name thing, and this would be an await function because we are bringing it from the blockchain, and let's say that our function is an async sync function. So and let's just have a console. Yeah, so let's have the console dot log, and let's just console the value variable. Now let's just save it and let's just refresh our particular application. Let's try to connect to the Metamask wallet and let's sign the transaction, and here we go. We again got an error, and this time the error has been set. Okay, the same invalid error. How could that happen? In this set pro, we set the signer instead of provider. Yeah, and last time it actually solved our problem, but this time let's try again. Let's okay. So we got the two things, the contract and the hello world thing, and I guess we should await something like things are getting beforehand and we are calling this particular function afterwards. So what we could do is okay, so we could create a use effect, I guess. Okay, let's not go into the complex stuff right now. Let's just have our basic application for now, because if we are would be going into the React part now, this integration, the essence of this particular ether library and the functions which we are using of ethers would be we will be lacking those things. So right now I want to have a concentration on this ether part, the ether contract part, and then in the future videos we will be also creating a decent React app where we will be using the React properly. But right now let's just move on with the stuff which we have created till now. So you could see that how we were able to access the name variable. This particular name variable we got access using the contract which we created, like this was the contract, and this we created using the address and the ABI. So now what we are gonna do is we are again creating a use state. So let's just copy the use state, and over here we could say that it's the val thing, and let's just set the val, set val, and in the where we have done the console log, we could simply have the like okay, we could say that let's have the set val, and here we could pass the value so that the value gets set in our particular application, and over here we will be doing the same thing. If the val is present, like if our particular state of val is not empty, if it has some values, then we have like value from blockchain, from block chain, and here we could use that particular val, and yeah, it will be giving us hello world. So let's just save this particular thing. Let's move to the React part. Let's try to connect to the Metamask, sign the transaction. Okay, this time we didn't get it, no issues. Let's try it again, And I guess we have got so value from blockchain. We got the hello world value from our blockchain smart contract. So this was a very basic application where we have all the three things. We have our smart contract, we have our React side, and we integrated both of them using Ether library and Metamask wallet. So now you would be understanding that why we need all these things and how we could just integrate our concepts of Solidity and React, both the things. So I hope you enjoy this video, learn something new out of it, and you really get to know more about Web3 application, dApp application, how it is created, what are the three main building blocks of a particular dApp application. So this video was just to give you an introduction with the dApp application, like how you can create a decentralized application. Till now whatever applications we have created were the small building parts of this whole genera, but this is our first application which is using all the three particular things which we have discussed till now in this particular channel. So if you want to learn more advanced stuff of all these three things, then please stay connected with us, subscribe to the channel and like this video. It really motivates us to create more types of videos, more videos on blockchain for you guys. So thank you for watching.